Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Martin with The Contoured Chemist. I'm excited. Gosh, I always say that. This video, I get questions all the time on color correcting. I am a huge fan of color correcting. I feel like it makes the biggest difference in your makeup, especially your mascara makeup. So if you are wearing it and maybe not getting good enough longevity or coverage, color correction is probably your answer. That or you have the wrong shade. So keep watching if you want to see all of my tips and tricks for what colors to use for what, how to color correct, and a little bit about why I choose certain colors over other ones when it comes to color correcting with this makeup. So hopefully this video helps. Please like it, thumbs up if you enjoyed or learned anything. I love to know. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and thank you guys for watching. All right, girls, let's just get right into it. Ooh, can you tell what I'm gonna be talking about first? I wanted to show you guys, hopefully you can see it more on camera. So I normally have very blue, purple undertones under my eyes, but they're usually not this dark, obviously. So I added a little eyeshadow so I could show you some comparisons when it comes to covering different things. So we're talking about color correction, okay? And I feel like there's a lot of, I don't want to say misinformation, but just maybe some differing opinions when it comes to how to color correct. So I'm just going to show you guys what I've learned, because this makeup is different. You can go to any drugstore nowadays and find color correctors, and you've probably seen them. There's like salmon colored ones, there's green, there's yellow, and they all say what they're used for, right? But mascara makeup, if you are new to it, you might not realize how different it is. So traditional makeup, you might be able to put a light color under your eyes in order to try to cover the darkness or whatever your issues might be. But with this makeup, we do things differently. You have to always apply the darkest shade first. So in my color matches, if you get one, I always explain exactly how you're gonna apply, because everybody's face is different. So I always say darkest shade first, remember that. So I'm gonna show you guys, and if I was gonna be doing my makeup, I would be doing my color correction first. Because with this makeup, if you put a lighter shade and it doesn't match the skin tone underneath it, you're gonna look textured. You're gonna see pores, you're gonna see fine lines, and it's also not gonna last very long. It will actually wear off within a couple of hours. And our makeup lasts a really long time when you have the right shade. So with this makeup, you've gotta match those darkest tones of your face first, and sometimes that requires a color corrector. So I'm gonna show you a few examples of how we can color correct different tones you might have on your face. And the first one's going to be blue or purple under your eyes, because not all shades are equal, okay? My favorite for most, and if you've been color matched by me, if you have much darkness and under eyes are an issue from you or for you, you guys know I love Mango. It works so well because it's the one shade, depending on your skin tone, that will work for redness, purple, blue, and gray under your eyes. And not all of them will. So I want to show you a little bit of comparison, okay? So for blue and purple, my favorite is Mango, okay? I'm going to just use my finger for all of these demonstrations, and I'm just going to press. So notice I'm not sweeping, I'm just pressing a very light layer over my purple, right? So for my next one, I'm gonna show you what a wrong shade will do. And actually, I get a lot of, you know what, we're gonna go with this. So this is what it looks like when you are using the wrong color. First of all, it's too light, does not match the darkest tones. And I now look like I have a black eye. Can you see that? Okay, this one is evened out, and I'm not even done. I mean, I've just put my darkest. So you'll see in my instructions, if you get color matched, that you'll apply the darkest shade first, and then you'll press on your all over shade over that. You always use your perfector between layers so you're not getting it too thick, and then you can brighten. Okay, so even though that was super dark, and this doesn't look too great because I'm just like throwing it on with my finger. Brushes are key. But this, we can all agree, does not look pretty. Okay, that was the color June. So the biggest thing with under eyes is matching, clean this up real quick, matching those dark tones. So you try to put, and this is the case with any color, say you just have normal under eyes and you put your brightener under your eyes directly. No matter what, if you're putting too light of a shade over your skin tone, it's gonna look funky, okay? It's gonna pull. And certain colors will pull weird colors. So June is our color that has a lot of green in it. Green and blue or purple, whatever, they look like a black eye. It just turns, and I can't wear June under my eyes because of those blue purple tones. And obviously I wiped off my eyeshadow, but I want you guys to be able to see on camera what it looks like with an extreme case. Okay, so my next one is going to be just general, let's say we're gonna do general dark under eyes. Okay, now this is just a brown gray color. Okay, I'm gonna try to just show you guys what it can possibly look like in this case scenario. Okay, so in this case, I just have darkness, okay? If I was to use Mango, which is normally really good, I want to show you guys, just stick with Mango on this side. Okay, it might give it kind of good coverage, but you might still see that darkness kind of shining through to where it looks like you still have a little bit of darkness. You still are kind of looking tired. Okay, now I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like when you match the darkness. Okay, so Mango is this shade. Okay, this is Papaya. It doesn't look a whole lot darker, but it's 2 shades darker. Okay, and Papaya is one of my favorite for disguising darkness. Now you're gonna see when I put it on here, it's just gonna pull your entire under eye looking darker, right? But we are matching those dark tones right there. Okay, see how it just kind of evened out my under eye? Okay, now I can lightly perfect that. Okay, and then I'm going to grab a brush so you guys can really see, because I don't feel like my finger does it justice. I'm then gonna grab my all over shade. Okay, and now this is going to kind of tone down that warmth under my eye. It's gonna kind of bring it to matching. I probably should have done my full face so you guys could see what it looks like when I am actually matching everywhere. But can you see the difference when and now I'm matching? I've toned down that warmth and I'm bringing it, I call it bridging the gap. Okay. So when you have a dark shade and you put a light shade over it, it just pulls funky. It either pulls green, blue, gray. It can't match. So you have a dark shade, you put a dark shade over it to match it, and then you bridge that gap by putting your main shade all over, and it evens out your skin tone. Then you can go back in and then you can brighten up with your accent highlight and get that area of your face bright and light. Look at that. Like, can you see the difference? And that's just using the proper color corrector. Okay, so if you're having issues with your dark under eyes and I say try papaya, don't be scared. This one is amazing for dark under eyes. So dark, whether it's blue, purple. Oh my gosh, I just poked myself in the eye with that wipe. Just dark brown, blue, and if mango isn't cutting it, papaya might be your best friend. Okay, I'm getting real red from these wipes because my skin's just like that. So it's going to be a perfect demonstration for redness. So redness, I feel like, is the probably most common. And I'm gonna we're not even gonna go with under eyes. So some people have red under eyes. Same concept applies there. Let's find a red eyeshadow, shall we? So let's pull a little Zion, and I'm going to put it on just my cheeks right here. So I'm already got some redness going on, but for the purposes of demonstration, and so you guys can see it on camera, I'm just gonna add a little to it. Looking pretty, right? Okay, so redness. I get this the most, and I get a lot of people that have been color matched with something yellow. Because if you've ever looked at the color wheel, yellow is what's supposed to cancel redness. Okay. Our most yellow highlight. So all of our highlights have yellow undertones. So if you have redness and it's just a pinkness, like it's like, honestly, like certain areas of my face, I don't need a color corrector on because the highlight itself is going to color correct it enough because it has those slight yellow undertones. Okay. But if you have a deep redness and you're told to use a yellow, okay, or even a green to counteract those, okay, I'm going to show you what it looks like. And I don't know how well this is going to pull on camera, but Sunlit is our most yellow. And if you've ever tried it, it is very yellow. I mean, it's very yellow. Okay. Problem is you're probably not going to be able to see what this looks like. Can you guys see how, I mean, my pores look a million sizes bigger. Like, I normally have no issue. I mean, I have pores, come on, but I normally don't have issues seeing them. Can you see that? Okay. And for the most part, my redness might be like, it might be color corrected. Okay. But because this redness is deeper than the shade Sunlit, it looks horrible. And by layering on a darker highlight over this, it's not going to help. It's still going to pull textured and show all my pores. I don't want that. Ugh, like It looks so bad. So the first thing, what did I talk about? You have to match the darkness of your redness. So this is why if you are already around the shade Sunlit can work for you as a color corrector for your redness. Also, June is a good one if you're even lighter, because it has green, and green also cancels red. So June and Sunlit are great options if you are, like, I would say June is light to medium and Sunlit's around that medium skin tone. Okay, but I put Zion on my face. Like, this is what, if I looked at your face, and no matter your skin tone, even if you had light skin tone, if your redness was this color, which I consider a deep red, I would never give you those two shades. What am I gonna give you? Can anyone guess? Yes, Magic Mango, once again, because I need to match. I need to match that redness, okay? And honestly, depending on your redness, if you're darker skin, like I can wear mango all over. If I'm this dark and I have deep redness, I might even give you Goddess, okay? So it depends on your redness. It depends on your skin tone. But if you are very, very fair and have deep red, and I give you mango, don't be scared. It is magical, and I call it magical for a reason. Look at that. Can you tell the difference? I'm not getting pores, and it is close to my skin tone, so that's why I don't look like I need to even layer anything over it. For 99% of people that aren't already the shade mango, then you could go back in, okay, perfect that. Make sure you're not getting it too thick. Grab a brush that you can press on the product. So the biggest thing when you're using a color corrector, you can't then go back in and sweep, or you're gonna pull that color corrector wherever you placed it and move it. So anywhere you have placed it, you will press. So I'm gonna go in with my main shade, which is very close. It's just one shade lighter. And I'm gonna press it in place, and then you'll be all evened out. You're gonna tone down that warmth because mango is warmer than most colors. And no pores. We don't wanna see pores. Okay, so what's next? Can you tell? So my next thing I always get is hyperpigmentation. Okay, I have it. And my spot's pretty big. Hyperpigmentation has all to do with how dark your hyperpigmentation is. So just like how dark your under eyes are and how deep your redness is, it all has to do with matching those tones, okay? That's all color correction is. We're gonna match those tones, and then we're gonna press your shade over it, and it's gonna disappear. So obviously this is makeup. It is not going to, I mean, sometimes it makes it look like you have nothing there. Sometimes you're gonna still see some stuff shining through. So for me, I feel like I get good enough coverage with my daily mango, okay? Does it make it completely disappear? No, I'll be honest. It looks like it on camera. You get up super close, you can still see there is something there. To me, it looks better than if I was to cake on some kind of concealer that's gonna crack and flake through the day. This looks natural, no one notices but me, pretty much. Sometimes we can be really picky with our makeup, right? So that was just mango. Now you can kind of see it still a little bit, but I kind of just layer. Okay, I then press on my main shade, and even when I get to my brightener shade, it slightly goes over it as well because of where it's placed. So by the end of those 3 layers, to me, it's covered enough. Like, I'm not gonna, now if I wanted more, I would perfect it, and I'd add another layer of mango. That's what I do. What about this bad boy? So if you have hyperpigmentation that's very dark, what are you gonna have to do? You're gonna have to use a much darker highlight to match those tones. And honestly, we're gonna play. I don't think I've ever tried this dark of an eyeshadow. I put Trust, which is my brow color, on my cheek, and we're gonna play. So honestly, I don't think Papaya will do it, but I'm gonna try it. Might as well experiment. Gosh, it might. So I can still see a little bit shining through. Okay, I'm going to try my main shade and see what it looks like. And it might depend on your preference, whether you like full coverage or you like a natural coverage, dependent upon if this is okay. Dang, that did pretty good. Do you guys still see it? Oh man. Okay, Papaya is awesome because that totally worked. Now it's a dark spot. So you can imagine what it does for dark under eyes, right? So that was just 2 up from Mango. I just dug my finger in that. So this is Mango on the end here, and then Goddess, and then Papaya. So it looks dark, but honestly, we've got a lot darker ones. So there's wiggle room there depending on your color, and it might take, you know, a couple tries to make sure we get the right shade, but I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Mango did it. Okay, I think we've covered almost all of them. We've done purple, blue under eyes. We've done just dark, really dark under eyes. We've done redness. We've done hyperpigmentation. The only one other I can think about is green. So I'm trying to find a color. The problem is we don't have any like light green shadows. So I feel like this is going to not. Sometimes people have green under their eyes. Now, I feel like the biggest misconception with green is using yellow once again. Okay, so let's just try Sunlit. Oh gosh. That's hideous. Okay, well, obviously this is doing nothing except making it look worse. And I will also tell you right now, no matter what, if you have green anywhere on your face, one of the biggest rules for color matching as an artist is if you see any green on your face, never use the color June. So June has green undertones. If you use green on top of green, you're gonna pull super green. So it can almost make you look jaundice. Not pretty. So no matter what, don't use June under your eyes if you have green. A lot of people pull a little bit green around their mouth, so look out for that too. If you are a June girl, make sure you don't have green on your face. So, okay, so I'm gonna get a little crazy this time, and I wanna show you guys a lip and cheek trick. Okay, green. What should we try? I am going to try Sandstone. Okay, so this might sound real crazy, but I'm gonna take Sandstone over that green. Okay, press it on. Be a little scared for a second. Remember to always perfect in between layers. And then we're gonna go in with our all over shade. So Sandstone has a very red undertone. Okay, so first we're gonna even it out with my main shade, and then I'm gonna pop in a little brightener there. Look at that. So it's a clear testament that if you just layer some shades, magic can happen. It's all on layering when you're talking color correction. Okay. The very last one I want to do is probably one of the most common color correctors we use. And I feel like it is right up there with Mango. It can counteract just straight up darkness and purple, just as good as Mango can. And the reason for it is because, let's try something else. Let's try a different shadow. I'm gonna try Midnight. Sorry, I started talking. The reason that this shade works so well is because it's very similar in undertone to Mango. Okay, I feel like that is super dark, but that's okay. So now I'm going to compare the two. And if you've watched my under eye video, you've seen this before. I might have recommended it to you. If you are a fan of peach shades and you have dark circles of any kind, I would say grab this shade. You can use it as your blush and you can try it under your eyes and see if it gives you the coverage you want. Because to me, when I use this on a normal day-to-day basis, I see no difference in coverage and longevity wearing it throughout the day as my normal everyday Mango. Now I wear Mango across my entire mask area to kind of, you know, my nose is darker and I got some redness and hyperpigmentation. So I just use it all already. So it's already in my palette. Otherwise, I would use this shade on the daily. So this is Frenchie. So Frenchie is, I mean, it's almost the color of my finger. It's peach. It's more of like a salmon, okay? So it looks crazy at first. Apply it all under your under eye and it is amazing at color correcting. And it's just kind of like Mango. It's got those orange undertones. So I'm gonna do Mango on this side. Okay, so both of them look very different right now. We'll see which side we like better. Okay. Main shade. Ignore the fact that my nose is so red right now. I'll just remedy that real quick. Can you tell a difference? I don't think I can. Especially when I do my brightener. So the most important thing, if you are using a color corrector under your eyes, is making sure you keep the layers thin. Use that perfector. Don't get it too thick or you will get creasing. Because you are layering 3 shades. And if you have used mascara, you know how easy it is to use too much product. Okay, there you have it. That was some dark, I used Midnight. That was some dark blue under eye. Look at the magic. Frenchy, Magic Mango. I mean, I feel like my eyes are getting swollen from wiping it off so many times. But other than that, I am thoroughly impressed with both of them. So, oh my gosh, guys, I almost forgot one of the most important ones. Can you tell which one I almost forgot? Blemishes. We all get them, okay? Sometimes they might vary depending on if they are purple. I feel like these are a little intense. They're probably not going to be quite this shade of red, hot pink, but they can vary between dark spots, redness. The biggest misconception I feel like ever is putting a lighter shade on blemishes. Okay, so using, again, yellow to counteract redness. Let me show you that. And it's not bad. On camera, it looks concealed. In person, it shows texture. So, once again, it's because the shade is lighter than the spot. So, if you've ever put concealer on a blemish and it just makes it look dry and flaky, and increases the look of texture, that is the number one biggest issue when it comes to blemishes, especially if you've picked at it or if it is turned into a scab. You know how hard, oh gosh, they're so hard to cover. So, using a lighter shade, I wish you guys could really see. Can you see the texture? Probably not, because that was a bad position on my face to put it on. But same concept as under eyes and everything else. Match the darkness. Because once again, too light a highlight and you see texture. No texture. Press on your main shade over it and it disappears. Look at that. I do recommend perfecting to make sure you don't have excess, or even using just the tip. Okay, another great tip is actually just using the tip of your perfector, dip it into your highlight, and then press that on, especially if it's one that maybe you've picked it and nothing will stick to it. Guilty, I've done it a million times. So do that, and then I like to take a little bit of vanilla dust setting powder, and I like to either pinpoint and put powder just on that spot or press it on with the perfector, so that way, because if you don't set it, you touch your face through the day, you're gonna wipe it off, okay? If it's dry or textured and you put too much powder on, it will start looking dry and flaky around the spot. So then I like to pinpoint just right there on that blemish. That way it's not going to pull through the day as it dries out, as your face is moving, and it might be cracking. The makeup won't crack. I'm talking about the blemish. You guys know what I mean, right? So, same concept. Got it. Our creams are like no others, guys. Like, it's amazing how you can have your color corrector, your main shade, your brightener, all of it in one compact, and just using a little bit of color science and using that darkest shade first. Don't forget, keeping it thin, layering the perfector. I don't recommend trying to layer shades without this, or you'll get too much, and there's no way to remove when you get too much, unless you have this bad boy damp, ready to go. So, all about color corrector. I don't even think I need to redo the under eyes part. I'm just gonna put the rest of my face on, call it a day. I hope that helped you guys. I know that was a lot of information. Let me know if you have any questions on what shade might be right for you or what kind of color corrector is best for what. If you are needing a color match, if you're brand new to Maskcara Beauty and you want it all in one compact, my color match questionnaire is below. Thank you guys for watching. I love y'all.